At the Game Awards, Square Enix and Luminous Productions surprised everyone with a surprise reveal and release of a demo for the upcoming Forspoken. I'm personally quite excited about this. Forspoken just seemed cool to me. The magic abilities and parkour just seemed like they'd be a blast to mess around with, though I'm a little wary of the story. I've sat down and I played everything the demo has to offer, played all the main content, and I did all the side content on the map, and I'm ready to give my opinion on the Forspoken demo. Let's not waste any more time, and let's get straight on into it. To start off, I'm going to talk about the core of this game. That's the combat. The combat of this game is going to either make it or break it for you, as it seems that's going to be about 70% of the game is going to be just using your cool magic powers and combining them, dodging around, flying around the place, throwing out all these cool powers, and I'll be honest, it didn't click with me immediately. But if you take some time, try and learn it and understand the combat and learn the controls, I think you'll actually be quite surprised on how fun it is and you'll actually have a blast. It's definitely a little confusing at first, but once I kept playing, it definitely clicked with me, and I was actually having a blast, just swapping between ground-based powers and the fire powers and combining them, such as trapping enemies with the branches, with the ground powers, then go to fire, take out my fire swords, and just slash them. I had a blast messing around with all the powers. And you can unlock more during the demo. Once you level up, you can get more powers. I spent a lot of time in the demo, and after a while I came to actually really enjoy the combat. I was having a blast. However, the dialogue between Frey and her magic cuff thing on her arm isn't great at all. However, there's a fix for that. If you head to the settings, go to the accessibility settings, and you can either turn up the cuff's dialogue or turn it down. I don't know why you would ever turn it up, but it's an option if you want to. I personally put it down to low, which means he still talks every now and then, but there's very little dialogue. You can set it to minimal, meaning Frey and the cuff won't comment unless it's a story thing. It really helped me enjoy this game a lot more, because the dialogue is, it's not great. Also, turn on the auto pickup feature, because once you finish combat, there's like 100 things on the ground. So I recommend turning that on, because you just have to walk over and she'll pick it up automatically. It's a really good feature. Overall, I really like the combat of Forspoken. You just need to give it a little bit of time and see if it will click with you. As if it doesn't click for you, then you're probably not going to like the game, because again, basically everything you do in this game revolves around the combat. So if you don't like the combat, I wouldn't recommend giving this game a try when it fully releases in January. Next, let's talk about the Parkour and World. These two are about the other 30% of what you'll be doing in this game. Parkour is pretty damn fun. Though I hope we can get a speed boost of a sort, because you can run and you can press circle to boost your speed with flames, which is cool, but I still felt it was a little slow. I don't know, it just didn't feel like I had much of a sense of speed. I kind of felt like I was a bit slow, but I will say the team at Luminous have shown off tons of other parkour abilities, just like surfing and stuff, so they may be a lot faster than what we can currently do in the demo. So maybe once we get further in the game, we'll get more speed boosts and faster abilities. Also, fun fact, you have a grappling hook. The demo never tells you have a grappling hook. If you press square, you can grapple. You can see here in this footage, I pressed square by accident and discovered it during combat. It's actually pretty useful for combat. And it's also really useful for parkour and getting around, because sometimes some things will be too high and you have to use your grappling hook to get up. I didn't know this until I was like near the end of the main story of the demo, though it's not really a story. Next, let's talk about the open world of Athia. The map seems to be pretty damn big. We only get to see a small section of it in this open world demo, but I do like what I see so far. The floating structures and rocks seem really cool. The massive hills, which with huge drops you can just jump off of and land. The nice valleys, dense grass and foliage and flowers, and the beautiful forests. It's gorgeous in my opinion. I had a blast just walking around and just looking at the vistas. It's a really nice looking game. I've got no real complaints about the world, to be honest. It's a gorgeous looking open world. But I do have a complaint about the visual modes on PS5. On PS5, you get 3 modes to swap between: ray tracing, performance, and quality. And my problem is, as you can see in this clip, I swap between the 3 modes. And I cannot tell you for the life of me what the ray tracing mode does at all. Because the reflections in this game are really disappointing. When I was just going around the world, the water just had like no reflection basically. So I tried ray tracing and it just doesn't add anything. The quality in ray tracing would just seem to do nothing. But I'm guessing it's ray trace shadows, as the reflections just don't seem to change on any of the modes, which is pretty disappointing. As the reflections kind of seem like they're stuck in the PS3 era. Also, I have to just put this in here. I don't know where else to put it, but can we talk about the fast travel in this game? It is basically instantaneous. You'll press fast travel, press confirm, and boom, you're just there. This is super cool. It's the exact same when you close the game and relaunch it and load your save. The game is immediately, within like 1 or 2 seconds, will launch. I don't know how they do it, but it's absolutely incredible. Lastly, I want to talk about the very limited story in this demo. The only real story you get in the demo is this intro trailer thing and dialogue between Frey and the Cuff. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really worried about the story in this game. As like I mentioned earlier, the game has a setting to basically turn off the Cuff in the open world. And that just kind of tells me that the developers just don't have much faith or confidence in their characters and writing. And that's not a good sign, to be honest, in a demo. I'm pretty concerned that this game might have some fun gameplay and a nice open world, but the main story just isn't going to be that strong, because the writing, from what I've seen and what I've listened to, it's just not that interesting, and it's just not that well written. Like, yeah, the opening trailer, like when you launch the demo, comes to a trailer, and they describe Frey as a cat lover. Like, what does that have to do with this magical open world thing? It's just, the dialogue and the writing, it just hasn't gripped me. I'm hoping once we actually get the game ourselves so we can sit down and play it, I'm hoping the writing will be a lot stronger, but I'm definitely worried about the writing and story of this game. My overall conclusion is, I quite enjoyed my time with Forspoken. I think it's a fun time and worth the download if you have a PlayStation 5, and hopefully the demo will come to PC at some point. But I can't lie, I don't know how the game is going to keep the fun and momentum of the game going for the entire game, as the demo didn't have much variety, to be honest. You basically ran to a place, kill things, then run to another place, kill things, and that's the entire demo. It just seems like it might get boring fast, and I'm just not 100% sold on the value of this game. This game's going to launch at a £70 or $70 price tag. With that price tag, I just don't think there's going to be much value in it. You're getting a big open world and stuff, but the story doesn't seem that interesting, and again, the whole game just seems about using the combat, which isn't a bad thing, but again, with an open world game, I like a little bit more variety. I'm hoping in the full game, once we get our hands on it, hopefully the open world will have a lot more variety and different things to do other than just kill monster things for like 30 hours straight. For me, a $70 or £70 game has to kind of have a reason to be that price. For this game, I just can't see why it is $70. There's just nothing that screams that this game needed to be that extra high price tag. Because I think that price tag is honestly going to hurt the game more than it's going to help. Because I won't lie, it does make it a bit of a harder sell to most people, I imagine. That was my thoughts on the Forspoken demo. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, a like and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you have a lovely day.